I hate
Did y'all
this
see
country.
what Matt posted the other day? Like, you know how apparently there's like you can get money from Twitter if you get lots of engagements and you join the MLM pyramid scheme.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Seth Dillon, creator of the Babylon Bee, basically said the worst thing I think a human being could do, just
Mhm.
outright mocking a teenage girl who got
Mhm.
and was forced to give birth, and was not only mocking that, but then like Matt found not only was Seth Dillon's thing like as abhorrent and monstrous as you can imagine, underneath another blue check mark was like, well, maybe this is good as a form of like what they wanted a study on how much it helps console.
Oh,
Like,
he said that something like, I wonder if
victims.
there's ever been a study, completely seriously, I wonder if there's ever been a study about how healing it is for rape victims to bring life into the world through their rape.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very,
Yeah,
very gross, yes.
and
How
making
did they
money
get
off
these
that,
evil thoughts? Like, holy shit, they are so
right?
evil.
Well, basically, Mr. Free Speech, Seth Dillon, who has made quote unquote free speech like his entire personality ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter specifically to unsuspend the Babylon Bee account. He's been all about free speech, but then all of a sudden, after he said that abhorrent thing about I think he said what he said was in reference to a 13-year-old who was forced to give birth to her rapist child. He said something like, oh, I wonder if they're going to dress the kid up in a onesie that says I should have been aborted or something like
Oh
that.
my God.
People have been sending joke tweets to him, mocking him and making fun of him. And one was like, one was over the top, but it was like, oh, me and my buddies are gonna come down and hold you down and see how you like it, or something like that. And there was another tweet where this one was I thought was pretty funny. It was something like, where is it? Oh, there's a New York Post article about how there's a missing 12-year-old girl believed to be staying with much older man, and someone on Twitter who goes by the name
I got it.
QAnon Latifa said, "Open and shut case at FBI. The man who has her under his control is at Seth Dillon."
Is this legal?
And Seth Dillon replies, "Is this legal?" And then he's going, "I'm blocked, so I can't report it." So he's taking like the person who. A bunch of the tweets who were attacking him yesterday, their accounts have already been suspended, including that account I mentioned earlier. This one hasn't been. If this one gets suspended, because this one isn't even like, you can't even misconstrue this as a violent threat or anything. That's
Right.
ridiculous. But this dude is Mr. Free Speech. He had a tweet just last month about how he quotes, "You have free speech, but you can't be wrong. The line must be drawn at misinformation." That's a quote he quotes. Then he says, "This is nonsense. If free speech is anything, it's the right to be wrong." And now he's out there reporting tweets for obviously joking about him abducting a 12-year-old girl. Like, of course, that's what these guys are all about. Free speech for me, but not for thee, right? But this is Seth Dillon, the guy behind Babylon Bee. What's extra funny
Painfully
is...
unfunny.
But what is extra funny, though, is that in the replies to that tweet where he says, "Is this legal?" about the person claiming he abducted the 12-year-old, a bunch of people are replying, "No, Seth, it's not legal to abduct a 12-year-old girl. Let her go. Let her go."
Oh man.
But it's like, it's wild how they're all just kind of having like an awful off. Like, they've got a financial incentive under this current like system with Twitter to now get as much engagement as possible. So I see so many people like Ian Miles Chong, other like right wingers, saying the most disgusting, worst possible things in the world that they know will farm engagement with a lot of different people.
That's what it's all about now. Like, you see it with all these blue checks. Like, if not like saying something abhorrent, it's these obvious like leading questions so people respond. Like, look at the Krasensteins. All their posts are literally
Oh my
all of a
God.
sudden they're Mr. Anti-Trump, and then all of a sudden Musk pays them tens of thousands of dollars, and all of a sudden it's like, listen, we can have our feelings about Trump, but we are a country of rules of law, and I don't know what we're doing with Trump. What do you all think? And now
Yeah.
set the trap for all these people to go
Question
under his
mark.
tweet and reply and everything. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so like degrading to do that. I could never. And I have a blue check because I was deigned upon me by Musk, but I could never.
Are you getting paid
It's
yet?
so demeaning. I submitted my application. I thought, if I have it, why not? And
Oh yeah, of course.
I have not. We'll see what happens. I'll let
see
you all
if-
know, and I'll be completely transparent about it. The whole point is to see
Yeah.
if he does. So
We'll see
it's
if
gonna-
all of a
there'll be
sudden the
piece and everything.
coverage of Mashable becomes slightly positive towards Elon Musk now.
I mean, honestly though, if he pays me, I would be getting paid for literally like 6 months of doing nothing but like completely shitting all over him. So I would just continue doing that. It's why fix what isn't broken for me, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a 0% chance you get,
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah. No,
I mean, considering he's the one paying for your blue check, it's probably going to go to him, right? Like,
well, he's not actually paying for it. Like it's not like
Wow.
$8
Turn
every
it
month
on.
is coming out of his account. He just told them to like flip a switch.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, if he's not watching, you, then
Considering
maybe
they're not
he will.
paying
I
Cat Turd, like I don't think they're gonna pay you. Cat
That's
Turd.
true.
Well, I'm
and
sure
Ordering
Cat
aren't
Turd got
getting
paid.
I
I'm
thought
sure
Cat
Cat
Turd
Turd
they
got
get
paid
paid.
now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
Oh, okay.
they just paid a bunch of people in August who weren't part of Musk's initial batch of favorites. They didn't get paid that much. It was like the people who shared it got paid a couple $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I did a piece earlier this week. This great indie researcher Travis Brown has been tracking X Premium subscriptions, which is now what Twitter Blue is called since it started, and he got me the latest data. And what's really interesting here is not only did you would think that like, oh, Musk did this whole thing, this whole promo where he paid his favorites tens of thousands of dollars for just tweeting. They must have opened the floodgates for Twitter for X Premium subscriptions, right? No, it didn't. Over the past 6 weeks, only around 90,000 people subscribe to X Premium, which is in line to what it regularly normally is. In fact, it's less than when he threatened to take away the verification badges from the legacy check marks. So, like, the promise of a big payday, which you would never get, it's only for Musk's favorites, that wasn't even enough to sway a significant number of people. And on top of that, something like 38%, somewhere around that, don't even have 38% of X Premium subscribers don't even have the 500 follower requirement to even be able to apply for monetization. So if you're wondering, if you're wondering where the monetization money is coming from, it's coming from that group of people who can't be monetized and they're just distributing that. Like, it's the only way that makes sense. Like, the idea that this is coming from advertising revenue is automatically suspect from me because Musk keeps claiming that it's not based on impressions because it can't be based on impressions because not everyone's impressions count toward monetization. It's only impressions from other people paying for X Premium. How do you count that? And then how do you decide how much money from your advertising revenue to disperse based on that? There's no other platform that does anything like that because you can't make those calculations. So I fully think that when he says you're getting paid advertising, it's bullshit. I think there is a specific amount of Twitter premium subscriptions that they know will never convert to people who could be paid, and they're using their $8 a month in a pool and dispersing that to people. It sounds like a Ponzi, right? But that's basically what it is.
To what end? Did Musk honestly think that was going to be the way he was going to fund Twitter through Twitter Blue subscriptions?
He really thought,
Right.
No, he fully thought the subscription model was going to take off because he didn't care about advertisers leaving at first because he had put, I don't even remember, but like in November when he made the big deal about attacking like legacy verification check marks and how he's gonna, all you do is pay me $8, and he was pushing it so hard because he really thought this was gonna be like the big thing. Like, he looked at it as Twitter has 256 million monthly active users. If we convert like
1%,
right,
Yeah.
1%,
1%
you're
is all you
right
need.
off the bat, you're doing good. Right now, I believe it's like they've converted after almost a year of this now. I think it's something like 0.3% or something like that.
Okay.
And it's not like ramping up. There's still under 1 million people subscribed to this. They've not even crossed the 1 million mark yet on a site that they're now claiming has doubled in monthly users. They now claim there's over 500 million monthly users on Twitter now. I highly doubt those numbers. Or I did notice they dropped the word active from the stats. It used to be how many monthly active users. Now they're just saying how many monthly users. And they're also focusing on a completely made up metric, which is his favorite. The unregretted user minutes on a platform. What the fuck is that? No platform ever, like, who cares about that number? It doesn't matter. Unregretted user minutes.
What does that even mean?
Unregretted? What is that?
Basically, people who are spending a lot of time on Twitter, I guess, and they're enjoying their time on Twitter, which I don't know.
Well, then they should be called regretted
calculate?
user minutes.
Right.
I have a lot of regretful user minutes on Twitter. I'll tell you that.
Right?
Right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's he really thought he had something here. I don't think he fully got Twitter, because Twitter was never going to be the cash cow that Facebook and Instagram and even like Snapchat and TikTok are. It's just a completely different beast altogether. That's why they were like Mark Zuckerberg said, like they were worried about Twitter in the beginning, like in the mid to late 2000s. They thought Twitter was building itself up to be a real Facebook competitor, but then they saw how far Twitter could get, and so they couldn't get past that like peak, and they were like, oh, this is nothing. Like, we don't care.
You know what? I honestly think though, the subscription model was not a bad idea. It's just it was Musk. Right. It was that nobody wanted to deal with Elon Musk. And then I saw he made one other. I'm saying something good about Elon Musk. My God, when he changed the ads, and he changed it from saying promoted at the bottom to just saying ad in the top right, you started seeing all of the advertisements get a whole lot more engagement. And I was like, you know what? That's really smart. It would be really good if he hadn't already chased away all of the best advertisers, because he's an idiot. So I think Twitter actually could have done a lot better with some of these changes if it had not been Elon Musk being the moron and the fascist at the head of the wheel. Matter of fact, some of the key advertisers dropped this week because their advertisements came up next to Nazi content. So, there was no way they were going to win with that.
Right. Yeah. Musk is really his own worst enemy when it comes to Twitter, without a doubt. I mean, and it's funny because the whole purpose of him bringing on a new CEO in Linda Yaccarino was to sort of try to change that outlook and give a positive spin to Twitter. And then ever since he's brought her on, he's continually shown that she has absolutely no sway in the company whatsoever. Like, she went out there on CNBC and pretended she's, no, that's not true. It's just that Musk runs product and I run the business end of things. But it's like, that's not even true in and of itself. How does the CEO of the company not be the one who announces the complete change of name of the company? How is the CEO of the company not have at least a statement ready to go when the owner of the company Musk changes the name? For like 17 hours, she didn't say anything. It was clear that she was not prepared for it, because it was one of his like late night rants, and he was just like, I'm going to do it. What the hell? On top of that, another story that dropped earlier this week is that you guys ever see like the sponsored accounts on Twitter, where it's like basically a Twitter ad, but instead of a tweet that's promoted, it's just like telling you to follow a user. Like, it just shows the follow button.
You took those out.
Yeah. Just earlier this week, Axios broke the story that, according to a source familiar with Twitter, they were going to end that specific ad format because Musk's product team, probably just Musk, didn't like it. And they made it clear to Axios in the reporting too that this was a decision from the product end of things, not the business side of things, which means even on ad-related stuff, Linda Yaccarino apparently has no sway. Musk is making decisions there. I mean, I'm sorry, she's not. There's a thing called the glass cliff, where companies bring on board a female CEO when things are going downhill, so they could basically throw all the blame at them when it all hits the wall. I mean, that seems to be what's going on here. I mean, it might be the the longest fall ever for a glass cliff, meaning that Twitter will continue to trudge on for who knows how many years like this, possibly. But I really do think that's the scenario here, or she's just gonna leave because she's not like how long could you be demeaned by someone? I mean, he literally hired her as CEO, and then a few months later, he tweets out how the title of CEO is so pointless and it really means nothing whatsoever. He said that after hiring her. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, he doesn't like her, but he had the opportunity to hire the quartering. He offered, but, Elon Musk shut him down. He could have had someone really qualified.
Yeah, I'm sure the quartering would have done a great job out of a number of...
Oh.
Cocainum.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists.
Whoopsie.
Up yours.